And welcome back. Professor Cohen, you're still with us?
I am.
Great. So what, there was not a lot of, or maybe there was, over this last weekend, Louise and I traveled out to Portland to visit our kids, and I, for a couple of days, was not as connected to the news as I normally am. Are Americans, is the American government taking seriously what happened in Kiev on Monday?
Hard to say. It's dissembling officially at the moment. It doesn't know what to say. The New York Times, in its completely degraded way of covering the Ukrainian crisis, found a way to blame those protesters and the bloodshed in Kiev on Putin. I mean, it's absolutely preposterous. I mean, Putin had nothing to do with it whatsoever. This is an indigenous, ultra-nationalist, right-wing Ukrainian force. Let me reformulate what I said. I was too wordy. Let me be more bumper sticker. Okay. The Ukrainian crisis grew out of profound historical divisions in Ukraine. To simplify it, between those regions that lean toward Russia for historical reasons and those that yearn to be affiliated with Europe. History created that, not the United States, not Putin. Blame it on God, if you will. It didn't help that Europe and the United States issued an ultimatum in November 2013 that Ukraine had to join either Russia or the West. That triggered a civil war. So the Ukrainian crisis at bottom is not a Russian invasion, though the Russians haven't done much to make it any better. But the core problem is a civil war, which was created historically, much the way our own civil war grew out of historical factors between North and South. What's happened now is that the Kiev side, the governmental side in the Civil War, which Washington supports, has now itself split into a second civil war, pitting these ultra-rightist forces against the government. In fact, the government said yesterday a second front has opened up in Kiev. So if you look at it, you've got this 18-month war on the Eastern Front, pitting pro-Russian rebels against the government, and now you have a second front opening up within the government-ruled territories itself. Washington, by which, I mean, the face of Washington on Ukrainian policy is Vice President Biden, Senator McCain, and nearly a majority coalition of Republican and Democratic members of the House and the Senate, which seem to be prepared to support the Kiev government limitlessly, including sending it $3 billion worth of weapons, which would be a terrible decision. The tragedy is, and maybe this is simplistic, but it seems to me that a giant step towards stopping this killing, stopping this sundering of a country in the heart of Europe, could be achieved if the Obama administration put its full authority behind the peace proposals of Germany and France. They've been hanging there since February, and the American-backed government in Kiev has refused, for one reason or another, to implement them. Now, Obama seems to be distant from this issue, but Biden tells us that he talks to the leaders of Ukraine 3 times a week. It's his